Alors Livia, tiens, elle est là. On va pouvoir lui parler.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
C'est la maison d'Horatius, justement. Ça serait pas mal de fouiller. Trouver quand même des indices. Donc je pense pas que c'est lui en fait. Ah non, c'est pas ça. Bouclier, bannière. Et là il a que 15 deniers dedans, donc non c'est pas lui, je pense pas. Le traître. Ça doit pas être Horatius.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world,
Olivia, on devait lui parler.
so this
Ça tombe bien.
place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. They never do. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment. The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Ok, donc il n'y a pas grand-chose. Pas grand-chose de plus sur elle. Alors ici, qu'est-ce qu'on a? Coffre de Vergile, ok. Donc il a un petit peu plus d'or sur lui. Bien sûr, on va pas l'échouer parce que sinon, on sera mort. Maquette d'une arène. Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'on a en haut là? Coffre de Nevia. Clé du sanctuaire d'Apollon. Ok. On va prendre l'objet. C'était pas du vol de toute façon. On a regardé. C'était pas marqué vol. Livia. Ok. C'est vraiment vide chez elle. Que dalle. Et là, c'est la maison à Lucretia. Donc, ok. Ouais, on n'a rien d'autre. Bon, c'est pas intéressant ici. Donc là, ici, ça fait vraiment pauvre. On est vraiment dans les bas-fonds. Domintius, c'est pas le gladiateur, ça? Ouais. Ok. La prêtresse. Alors où est-ce que on va là par là? C'est bizarre. Donc on peut prendre les deniers, les flèches et la bouteille de vin, c'est quoi? De toute la cité, d'accord. Donc ça pourrait nous être utile quand quelqu'un va nous demander une bouteille de vin, on pourra lui donner celle-là justement. Ça doit être pour une quête. Oh, regardez. Nouveau paysage là. Hein. On n'a jamais vu ça. Alors qu'est-ce qu'on a là-dedans? 102 deniers. Ok, excellent. Alors est-ce que j'ai toujours mes... Ouais, j'ai toujours l'arc doré. Ok. Allez, on va passer par là. C'est très grand, hein. On se perd très rapidement ici. Alors toi, t'es qui? Rufus. Ah. Est-ce qu'il a du nouveau?
Name's Rufus. Better watch your step. What business is that of yours? Willow Park. And finally, some root. I've been... It was... I owe you. So you're...
Ok. Donc là, c'est le temple. Maintenant, on va pouvoir revenir ici. Ah non, c'est verrouillé. Je peux pas l'ouvrir encore. Ok. Vous guidera. Alors, je pense que là, on retourne vers le palais, ici. Et où Nevia s'est enfermée. Ouais, c'est ça. Donc du coup, j'ai pas été regarder là-bas. Qu'est-ce qu'on a de beau par là? C'est très joli en tout cas. Ah, les statues me murmurent à chaque fois des choses. Ok. On pourra utiliser la tyrolienne pour voir ce que ça va donner. Je refouille un petit peu de ce côté-là. Qu'est-ce qu'on a de beau ici? Alors toi,
Salve, friend. I'm
Octavia.
Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far? Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned. Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks
Ok,
of
on
the
est dans la
Tiber.
maison du magistrat en
I was
fait.
even
Ça,
betrothed
c'est
to a
son
handsome young man
esclave, on
from
va
a
dire.
prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose. Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome, 7 months ago,
Okay.
we were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but a scuffle broke out and I was pushed overboard. I woke up by the river, near that shrine. and stumbled across this place.
D'accord.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me. Oh yes, of course. A slip of the tongue. If you like. The many shall suffer for the sin. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbour, but on the other hand, I was always taught the and that's where I get stuck. Is it... You don't think that's a little naive? I suppose you've never seen what I've seen. Innocent men and women, torn apart in arenas while thousands of Romans look on and cheer. If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here.
Ok.
Unless it's... I wish I shared your faith. I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, if that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until God... I hope it works out.
Elle dit souvent le dieu, elle. Et en principe, c'est ceux qui sont dans la secte. Donc il va falloir se méfier quand même d'elle.
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible.
Ok.
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all.
Ok,
I don't
je
know
vais
what to
essayer
do.
d'aider.
I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him. I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bondsman isn't far off.
Ok. Bon.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire. I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage.
Ok, c'est un esclave en tout cas.
Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love, I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Ah, il est tombé, mais j'espère qu'il va rien se
Can't
passer.
believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb. That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it, it isn't mine. I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Ok, donc là, encore une nouvelle... Oh bah oui, d'accord. Il a sauté là, carrément dans la ville là en bas. C'est très haut. Murmure, suivez-le. Non, on va pas le suivre. Merci. Ok. Donc bah, on va rentrer dans la maison du magistrat. Non, c'est du grand temple là. Et c'est verrouillé d'ailleurs. On va pas pouvoir faire grand chose ici. Trouvez-moi. Alors, on va l'utiliser. J'espère que ça va pas casser. En tout cas, ça tyrolienne. Ouais, génial. On pourrait utiliser l'arc et je pense qu'il y a de l'or à aller chercher de l'autre côté. 250 gold. Bon, bah c'est toujours ça. Et du coup, qu'est-ce qu'on a par là-bas? « 341 deniers là-dedans, super. J'ai bien fait de descendre tout en bas. Il peut vraiment fouiller hein, partout. Alors où est-ce qu'on est là maintenant? Ok, on revient ici. Donc là c'est le forum en haut. Alors, on va regarder un petit peu les indices et les quêtes principaux qu'on a. Alors, point de départ, Ulpius est suicidaire. Ouais, je m'en suis rendu compte. Il me le faut en vie si je veux savoir ce qu'il sait. Découvrir comment empêcher Ulpius de se suicider. Ressentir à Santilla. Ok. Allez voir Malleolus. Donc ouais, on irait bien le voir tout de suite. Ah, où est-ce qu'il est, lui? Alors, on n'a pas de marqueur sur lui. On va pouvoir fouiller je ne sais où.
Citizen.
Alors c'est le magistrat Sentus. Donc là, il y a longtemps que je ne vais pas parler. On va voir un peu ce qu'on a à lui dire.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened? Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next time. Now, I assume you've sought me out again for a reason? Good.
Ok, ça a déjà
Now,
été dit.
was there some... Of course, what is it?
Alors je vais lui dire ça.
Well, if you stopped one person from breaking it and you're still here, then there must be someone else about to break it still. Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the instructions came with a warning about paradoxes. The crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that your very being here is impossible, you will have created a paradox. To illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, I will open the doorway that will bring you here to prevent it from being broken. If you manage to succeed in saving our lives, then I will have no reason to open the doorway, and you will never have come here. A paradox, you see? The same thing would happen if you, say, inadvertently, allowed me to die. If I can't summon you, then you can't be here, obviously. If either of those things were to happen, I am given to understand you would be flung back to your original time, having changed the course of history for us and yourself. So the fact that you are still here means someone is going to break the golden rule, and that... Excellent. So it looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask? Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Ok, alors je vais aller voir sa fille avec qui on avait parlé l'autre fois dans la vidéo. Cynthia.
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? Oh, you heard about her disappearance, I take it.
Je sais qui elle fréquentait, c'était une puce. Voilà.
Oh, really? That commoner in debt bondage next door thought he could win over a magistrate's daughter. That's awfully bold of him. I can see why she worked so hard to keep it a secret. Quick, go and find him and ask him what he knows. Oh, I see. Well, it was worth a try, I suppose. Just promise me you won't give up on her. Thank you.
Ok, donc on lui a dit des nouvelles quand même de ce qui s'est passé.
Are they?
Alors le gladiateur qui était chelou là. Ici, je sais plus ce que c'est. Même on n'y a jamais été, je crois. Alors, je sais pas si on peut utiliser l'arc ici. Ça, on va tester quand même. Du coup, ça nous permet de monter ici, sur le toit. Il se prépare pour le discours. Ok.
And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now. Did you just scale the wall to my villa somehow? I must remember to have words with that buffoon Domitius. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
Ok, donc j'ai réussi à m'introduire chez lui.
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more. Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly establish. Unlikely, because it simply isn't true. Now, was there something else you wanted? I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today. I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny. By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule, it's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie? Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Alors, je sais pas trop quoi lui dire. Les choix sont assez compliqués quand même.
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read, as if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down? What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer. I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
Ok, donc on va pas pouvoir le convaincre.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken. Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win? Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the Golden Rule. How could you possibly know that? Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow. And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Domitius kill him even more. Now, get out of here! You outstayed your very limited welcome.
C'est pour ça qu'à la fin de son discours, en fait, tout à l'heure, les statues nous ont attaqués. Je comprends mieux maintenant.
Get out of my villa before I have Domitius throw you out.
Ok, donc là maintenant, il nous jette comme une merde en dehors de sa villa. Mais avant, je vais quand même essayer de fouiller chez lui pour trouver des preuves. On va s'introduire. C'est pas en plein. C'est verrouillé. Ok, ça c'est les cuisines. Là, c'est quoi? Note de Lulia. Une lettre de suicide vraisemblablement destinée à Malleolus. Ok. Donc son esclave préfère se suicider que de le servir. Et note d'Ulpius. de son amour perdu, oui. Ok. On peut pas la prendre à la lettre pour avoir plus de... La donner à Ulpius. Au pire, si ça a recommencé cette journée-là, par exemple. Donc, vase examiné. Sorte de bataille. Ok. Là, il y a plein d'amphores.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted.
Alors du coup, je ressors comment, moi, d'ici, moi?
And now, I make this solemn.
On peut pas sortir par là, en tout cas, une chose est sûre.
And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens, under my leadership, you will finally solemn promise to you, good citizens.
Ça a pas l'air de marcher.
And now,
Si je
I
passe
make
par là.
this solemn promise to you, good citizens, under my
Voilà.
leadership.
That's quite an impressive bow you have there. Just like Diana's.
Ok, j'ai réussi à passer par là, en tout cas. Donc, qui est cette personne-là?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?" The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here? Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you. Older. I see. I wonder if... No. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns. Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you, too. You have? Then what is it? Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another. I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long. I suppose so. Jupiter and Mercury put a town to the test. Everyone turned them away and failed that test, except for an old, and then wiped that town off. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all, but I like to think it's that we should always... A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose. It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask? All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course. That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but I can't allow the perception that, but if it's any consolation, by using whatever gifts the gods, I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed. You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination. As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it soon. Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. Very well.
Ok, donc on va voir ce qui va se passer avec les élections.
Time for Malleolus to become magistrate.
Je pense qu'ils sont partis pour les élections. Ouais, c'est bien ça. C'est bien là qu'il y a lieu pour les élections. Ok.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots, and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Sendius.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence, to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Bon, ouais, c'est reparti pour un tour, donc on a encore perdu cette fois. Et du coup, on recommence tout depuis le début ici. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a là? Voilà, on a toujours notre arc. Ok.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back? Oh, you sound serious. I'm listening. All right, let me see. Stop Fabio
Donc
going
ça, on
in.
l'a fait tout à l'heure.
I'll go, but once I...
Allez, on va utiliser la tyrolienne. Ouais, ça va beaucoup plus vite comme ça, en effet. Et du coup, je pense que je vais mettre en prison le gladiateur. On va informer directement le magistrat. Donc il est où lui? Là, il y a sa fille. Voilà, il est ici.
We're finally alone. I assume you already... We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, I must have entrusted you with figuring... Is that about right? Seems rather brash, but all right. Why have you sought me out? If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already. Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is mine. Before I wound up here... It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform. As magistrate, I usually wear a toga. But today, I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you. So, it seems... I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping... Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead. My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fight. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from... I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. Very well. I've had plenty of time to think about it. I've always considered my guiding star to be our survival and prosper. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. The real enemy in this place, I trust that our... Of course. What is it? Yes? Why do you say that? So I'm told. This is truly atrocious behavior, which undermines the very foundations of our democracy.
Je crois que c'est lui, hein.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one? Well then, in that case, as much as it pains me to do so, I must act decisively to ensure the survival of my people. As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome and authorize his execution by your hand, forthwith. Any way you can. I would think that bow you're carrying should suffice.
Devrait suffire, ok.
I don't believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order of a magistrate.
Ok, bah il y a juste à le buter.
So now you're an expert on Roman law, are you? Listen to me. We are cut off from the empire down here, fending for ourselves. If ever there was a time to dispense with legal procedure, it would be now. Think of it as an act. Thank you. Please act quickly before it's too late.
Ok, alors on va essayer. Et puis bah on s'arrêtera là après les gars parce que l'épisode a vraiment duré. J'ai pas fait gaffe à la durée de la vidéo, donc du coup peut-être qu'elle sera même divisée en plusieurs segments. Au moins 2 c'est sûr.
How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work.
Ok, alors on va le buter.
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ah oui, d'accord.
That man lives badly. He does not know.
Donc non, c'était pas lui. On peut pas le buter en fait. Hein. Bon, bah c'est reparti pour un tour. Ok, donc les gars, on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode qui a vraiment duré très longtemps. Donc j'espère que ça vous aura plu en tout cas. Alors j'aime bien ce jeu, c'est pas mal. Avec toutes les énigmes qu'il y a à faire, ça nous ramène sur telle ou telle mission en fait. Donc il y a pas mal de choses. Perso, je mélange un petit peu les quêtes et les persos. C'est assez compliqué, il y a pas mal de PNJ en fait. Mais ça me plaît beaucoup ce genre de jeu, de jouer un petit peu le détective. Donc c'est vraiment très sympa. Le jeu est fluide, il n'y a pas vraiment de temps de chargement ou quoi que ce soit. Ça se lance très rapidement, les graphismes sont beaux. L'histoire est vraiment très sympa également. Donc voilà, bah merci de m'avoir regardé. N'oubliez pas les likes et de vous abonner à la chaîne les Praetorians. Et je vous dis à bientôt. Bye bye.